beside, yeah, where did you go? Off to take the world alone. I would be beside you, don't you know? I'll never leave you high or low. You're Poseidon, I will raise the tides and guide you in the shore. When you're
Good evening, folks. This is your resident medium, Psychic Bro Perkins. I am a recent admin here on this lovely, lovely page, our growing community of afterlife signs and true stories of spirit. You are listening to and hopefully watching my first broadcast, our inaugural broadcast here on the page, exclusive to this group. It is the channel, that's the name of the podcast, but the name of the group is Afterlife Signs. This is episode 1, folks. You're all here with us, myself and my wonderful colleague, Liz Throp. I'd like to bring Liz onto the show. Liz, you're a psychic too, aren't you?
I am. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight, bro.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's my pleasure. I just became an admin in this group after being part of it for the better part of a month. Miriam, I'd like to say a special hello to you, my dear. You are a wonderful, peculiar, amazing, tough New York woman. She had created this group, Liz, about 12 months ago, and now we're pushing 100,000 followers as of today.
Incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
Incredible. That is amazing. What an amazing woman to have been able to maintain and support and help so many lives. Wow.
She is, and I don't think she's ever run a Facebook group before, she's told me, but here she is, true New Yorker, I'll tell you, throwing herself into the thick of it, and is running this place. She has a few rules, as do Liz and I, for these readings. Her rules are simple, folks. As most of you here know, this group is not a religious group. It's also not a dating site. That's been fun, Liz. I've been, as an administrator, having to do a little banning, a little policing, which I'm not very used to.
Yeah,
I actually love it.
right?
I love swinging that hammer, Liz. You know that.
Yes. Yes, you do, actually.
We've had to handle putting some people in line who have harassed and harangued, but that's a pleasure. It's a pleasure because this group is so supportive, and people here share their stories every day. And this is something that led me to be inspired to do this broadcast, which was seeing so many parents and people of all walks of life. I mean, people lose their spouses, but parents who have lost children. As a fellow colleague of mine, a psychic, you get a lot of parents who have lost their children too in your practice, don't you, Liz?
I sure do. Yeah.
I know we can't categorize or classify loss, but for some reason, I always see that as one of the toughest kinds of loss. Don't you?
It is the most incredible work, incredibly difficult work that I do is when I'm dealing with loss of children. I have a hard time with it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, we'll talk about afterlife signs before we go to calls as we get warmed up here and we let some of the audience tune in and find out how to view us live. I have no doubt the page is still sending out updates and letting people know. Come on in, folks, and let everyone know. Now, someone is saying in the chat, Elizabeth Benson, it won't let me open it to join. Okay. Now, what you have to do, Liz, is you can either use one of the phone numbers closest to where you live. In the description of this video, there's a slew of phone numbers, some from New York, some from San Jose, from east to west. You could use one of those numbers and just use the meeting ID as well as the passcode that is in the description of this video, and you can call in using your phone. Now, once you guys call in to ask your questions live, please don't hang up, even if it takes me a long time to get to you. If you hang up, we lose you. So commit to that call. If you're clicking to join on Zoom, you might have to do it more than once, okay? I know Zoom can be a little finicky sometimes, and if it asks you for any kind of ID, just put your name. Don't worry about it. Okay, folks, so a couple of rules. When we do readings, like on live streams such as this, Liz and I can't make promises of miracles. We do practice doing readings every single day. I have a 2-month-long wait list of clients. I read for people every day. It's my primary job. I'm a full-blown psychic, folks. The only thing is in my private readings, I have a full hour with each person. So I have time to really flesh out the connection with spirit and give a lot of messages. But the best we can hope for on live streams like these, very similar to when Liz and I do audience events live in front of a studio audience or audiences in a theater, your best bet is to get maybe a message or two and to share your story. And that's really what we're trying to do here, is just give a little uplifting message, and who knows what could happen. Some amazing things have happened on other live streams and other shows we both have been on. Liz and I have got stories, folks. But so keep your questions to a minimum, you know. Try not to come on a call and say, what do you see for me? Give us a more specific question. You know, you don't have to tell us your whole life story. Just say, you know, what do you see about this particular thing in my life? Or do you sense something about a person I've lost over here? You know, just be very vague, but be consistent. Now, the other thing is, Liz, we have done so many readings in our days. Let's first of all, I've been doing readings for about 23 years. How long have you been at it for? You're older than me.
Wow. Yeah, I'm older. Thanks.
I
Thanks
always
for
have
sharing.
to, I just want to get a little jab right in there, right to the kidneys, you know?
You just had to go for the jugular there. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you. Yeah, I've been doing it for about 30 years.
Well, see, and so, okay, spirit signs. What can people look for when they've lost someone right away? You know, because usually for me, I find they can come through sometimes the same day that they've died, sometimes 6 months later.
Yeah, yeah. My own brother took years to come through for me, and I do this for a living, like you. So, it can be a number of reasons why a lot of people are like, I just want to connect with them, but you know, fear is the number one reason why you don't connect with somebody. You're afraid of what you're going to see. You're afraid of that otherworldly, you know, image. You know, whatever it is. You know, I always tell people, sit down when you can get yourself into a place of calm, which is very difficult to do just after loss. But, you know, for all of you who are watching tonight, who have yet to connect with your loved one who has recently departed, sit down tonight before you go to bed and ask them to come and join you in your dreams. It's the easiest way for them to connect with you. I find that they've told me they will come through in your dream. And here's a couple of things you need to know. They're not going to talk with their mouth. That no longer is something that we do, our loved ones, right? It's all telepathic, right? So you're going to be hearing their voices in your head, in your dream, if that makes sense. It's really not a dream, though. I do feel like these are really like actual connections. The other thing I have been warned about, but it was because every time I was connecting with a friend in my dream, she kept disappearing. And I was talking to another colleague of mine, and I was telling her this, and she goes, "Oh my gosh!" She goes, "My dad. Every time I saw my dad in a dream, he would come, and I would give him a big hug, and then he would disappear." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So what's the deal with that?" She goes, "Well, my spirit team told me," and this woman's a psychic medium as well, Margaret Sample. My spirit team told me that if you hug them, you're zapping them out of all their energy. So don't hug them. So that was a really cool awareness for me, because now when they come through, I don't hug. It's really hard, so hard not to do. Guarantee you're all going to do it the first time they come through. And that's
you're
okay.
going to find they fade away. I had that too when my mother, after my beloved mother passed away in 2010. I finally got her on Christmas Eve one evening, and I wrapped myself around her, and she says, "Oh, bro, you're so dramatic." And then she faded away. So
I love it.
it's exactly like you say, Liz. Now we're going to go to a caller here. We've got a couple of calls. We'll come back, and I think, what do you think about this, Liz? Take a couple of calls, see if we get some messages, then come back to maybe a few more signs that we can share.
Absolutely. I'm
All right.
I'm open to see how spirit directs this. So
Perfect.
let's do it.
All right, caller. Now we're going to bring on 12032. I don't know if you recognize your prefix. I can't give out your phone number, but you're on camera right now. You have to activate your microphone or bring your audio into the mix. And be aware that you are on camera, my friend, so you will be able to chat with Liz and I once you connect your microphone. And by the way, this is a good opportunity to let everyone know, when calling in, collect your microphones. Hi there.
To Liz and I. Once
Okay,
you
you're going to
connect
need
your
to mute me. Turn down the audio on the stream and say hello, my friend.
Hi there. To Liz and I.
Yeah, you're on. Mute the audio and say hello.
There's a delay.
Yeah.
Liz and I.
Yeah, you're right here, honey. Yeah, you are. That's you.
Hi.
There's a delay.
Hi there. I know it's like old timey radio. So you're gonna have to turn down the stream because we're getting feedback through your microphone.
Hi.
There's a delay.
Hi there. I know it's like old timey radio. So you're gonna have this is good because everyone else will see, and then everyone will get used to this. It's like the old radio shows. Art Bell used to say, "Turn down the radio, folks." 12032. You're on camera with us right now, Lovey. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi, you've got to turn down the audio on the stream because we
I
can.
don't know how to.
Okay, so look at the video, not from the Zoom call, but from the Facebook stream, and just sort of turn down that audio on it, or close that stream, and just focus on the Zoom call for now, and then you can go turn back on the stream after we're done the call. Or you could. Oh, she left. All right, we're going to bring in another Zoom user. This one might work better.
It's going to be hard for them to hear us if they don't have.
All right, Zoom user, you've activated your camera. Just as a warning, we need you to activate your microphone. Now we should be able to get this one working. It'll take a few tries, folks, but we'll get the hang of it.
We'll get there.
All right, Zoom user, activate your microphone, please, and then we'll say hello. I wonder if I could. The problem is I can't really send a message. I could send a message.
Yeah, I can do that for you if you want.
Oh, do you have host powers in my Zoom call, Liz?
Just in the chat.
Yeah. We'll bring in the Nokia user. Nokia 7 Plus. Now, how do people know what they're doing? Okay, maybe this one will work this time.
Okay.
All right, hello, user. Nokia user, that's what you're showing up as on the Zoom call. Please say hello. We've had 2 callers drop out so far due to technical challenge, folks. This is always going to happen on a first-time broadcast. But remember, when you're joining, unmute your microphone and join your audio. Okay, hello, caller. You're on the line with Liz and I right now.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you, and congratulations on being the first successful caller. Liz, we've got to give a clap, give a rounding applause. All right, so what's your first name and where are you calling from?
My first name is Madhu, and my second name is Jimena.
Lovely.
I'm calling in from Netherlands.
Oh, the Netherlands. Beautiful. What part?
I live near Rotterdam.
Oh, yes.
I've been there.
Lovely. Good weather. Beautiful weather you're having now. Liz and I are, of course, in the midst of Canadian wildfire smoke, so we're not having the best summer yet. But anyway, caller, what would you like to ask either of us?
I firstly want to thank you all for having me here and giving us all this opportunity to to help us and to connect. So that at first. My second question, or my question really is, I feel like there is some energy surrounding me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeling this for, I think, I'm 33 years old right now. I think I noticed it around my 3 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I closed myself off of it, to be honest, because I saw some things that kind of scared me.
Hmm.
But now, the paranormal activity, or the activity, I don't even want to call it paranormal because I'm getting used to it, but it's like getting a bit out of hand these days.
Liz and I like to say every day is like Halloween for us, isn't it, Liz? It's kind of the normal now. So, you know, one of the things I sense for you is there's a gentleman around you in spirit who I thought might have been a father or a grandfather who had some kind of lung, I don't know if it's a lung disorder or a heart problem because I get chest symptoms. And I sense that your child is naturally psychic like you, and a lot of the activity is almost spirit guide related. Is your child having a lot of nighttime sort of senses or impressions in their bedroom?
He is. I have a son, and he's very sensitive. When I feel like I cannot sleep because I think sometimes myself I go to different realms and I'm like fighting and busy all the time. And then he wakes up in the morning and he's like, "Mama, what did you dream tonight. We sometimes dream the same thing, and yeah, I always wished for him to, for me to get over my my fright of these things, because when I was young, my parents said, "Well, you got to deal with it yourself." So that made
Right.
it even worse for me when I was a kid. So I decided for myself to, when I had kids, that I would always try to help them when something like this would occur.
First of all, being that I'm German, I understand that Dutch attitude of, well, kid, it'll toughen you up. So that's how I became a psychic. Yeah, but that's the
So,
thing. Yeah, I think you have a protective energy from a grandfather, and I don't really get very much directly from him. I kind of see a name that might remind me of a G initial. I don't know if that's a George or some variation on that name as well in spirit, but around you, it's mostly spiritual guides, especially around your son right now. And I see your son's father not really as much present. So I think in some senses, the spirit is trying to be almost like a masculine energy and help guide him a little bit to help you as well. Does that make any sense to you?
this makes so much sense. I get goosebumps all around, and yeah, his father is not really in the picture right now. So I always ask my spirit guides and my spiritual team to, assist us and to help and guide us through.
Well,
Um,
I've gotten goosebumps now too because I get the feeling that your prayers are answered. And Liz, do you have any sense impressions you'd like to share with our guest?
So I want to say first and foremost, Mabu, that your son has come to you so that, in this lifetime, so that the two of you can start this journey together. The fear that surrounds tuning in for you is very real. We've all experienced it. I remember, the night terrors myself was one of the biggest reasons I launched a company called the Psychic Kids United, and it's a website you can go and get free information at. It's just all free information. Go and you can learn about grounding and protection and self-care for the sensitive soul. So I would recommend the two of you go there and learn, because here's the thing. You're now being forced to really accept your gifts. They've
yeah.
always been there. You've just pushed them really far down. And now they're coming up because your son needs you to learn at the same time. So I'm excited for you. I need you to step away from fear. Remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real until it is real. And the only time, I always tell people, the only time you should be in a fear is if you're being chased by a bear. And
Yeah.
that's not what's happening here.
Have any beers here?
Well,
But you're not being chased by a bear. So, I also want to remind you that, you control this gift more than you realize. You get to call the shots. Start communicating with your spirit team. Bro is spot on when he says he's sensing more of a spirit team connection, because I'm feeling like there's four really strong presence around you, of your spirit team, and I'm feeling like they are just they're all ancient. Like I'm feeling very ancient presence around you,
and
and
Mabu,
they're just
what about? I'm sorry, Liz. I just get a raven or a hawk or a black bird. What about that? Is that assigned to you as well? While Liz is channeling, I saw this.
Oh my God. This
yeah.
is, I always look for ravens, and I always tell my kids, like, when a raven crosses your path, um, yeah, this has been one of my signs for, I think, I didn't realize it for, I think, 4 years ago. And then I started to see them more commonly, if I say that correct. And then I was like, no, this cannot be coincidence. And yeah, the raven and the crows and even bats
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah. Thank you very
so,
much. And I really wish that we could keep going, but we've got some other callers. But I want to thank you so much, Madhu, and I want to let Liz finish her thought before we say goodbye, and I'll let you say goodbye as well. This time, we'll be doing these streams once a week, by the way, folks, so fear not if you don't get a chance to get a message tonight. We have some more callers coming in, but Liz, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. You know how spirit can be.
No, that was great, because I was actually seeing the bird as well, and I actually feel like there's a Nordic connection. So where I was saying about the ancients, like I'm feeling like, the Viking, the Nordic kind of connection there. So I don't know if you have a fascination in that field, if you've been, really drawn to that area, but that's where I'm feeling like just very much like Viking energy is what it feels.
Brilliant.
I always went to Sweden when I lived with my parents. So we go hiking in Denmark and to Sweden and
very strong connection for you. So, and I just finally, that you said this all started at 3 and now you're 33. So of course it's so explosive now. Like they're saying the way it makes me feel is they're saying, no more can you put this off. Now we have to face this. You must start utilizing your spiritual gifts because they're for you. They're not for anybody else. They're for you. And when you start using them, life will turn around for you. And I do feel we're having a major shift come by December.
Brilliant. Thank you so much once again. Now we're going to bring another caller in momentarily as soon as I get this sorted out. And thank you once again, Madhu.
Good job, bro.
Oh, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart, really.
You're very welcome, and thank you for sticking through and putting up with the technical difficulties. As everyone else, remember not to hang up, folks. If you have trouble once, just keep calling until we get it sorted out. Now, we're going to bring Elizabeth in. Elizabeth, I think, had tried to join us a little bit earlier, but was having some technical difficulties. You should be able to join your microphone now, Elizabeth. Now, we're going to bring Elizabeth in. Oh, there you are. So we're still getting the audio coming through from the stream itself. You should be able to join your microphone now, Elizabeth.
Audio in that. Can you?
Now we're going to bring Elizabeth in. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
So we're still getting the audio coming through from the stream itself. So you have to just mute the stream. Microphone now, Elizabeth.
Audio in that. Can you?
Now we're going to bring Elizabeth in. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
So we're still getting the audio coming through from the stream itself. So you have to just mute the stream. Perfect.
I find it comical how spirit wants to,
Well, we've got that. Now we're going to need your microphone to be unmuted. Can you hear me better now, Elizabeth?
I'm getting like a back.
How
a
spirit
back thing.
wants to,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So you've got a Zoom call happening, but on your Facebook, you've got the stream still playing. So essentially, you're hearing me through Zoom directly live, and then you're hearing the echo of my voice through the stream on Facebook. So you have to open your browser window on Facebook and either close the stream on the Facebook page or turn the volume on the stream down. And then you're only going to hear me coming through Zoom. So that's the little trick we have happening here. You could also put headphones in, potentially.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. Yeah.
Brett, I'm sorry.
Click the X.
Click the X. My grandson's trying to help me here.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Compromise?
Click back
Well,
to
thank you for calling back, Elizabeth, because we've got you now, and that's what's important.
the screen.
Okay. Thank you. Thank God for grandchildren.
Indeed. So now, Elizabeth, my sense with you immediately is of loss, and I wanted to just let you know that for some reason I'm getting two things. I think that you're in the midst of such deep grief that it's difficult to receive a sign right away, because the grief almost acts like a rain cloud or a storm cloud blocking out the sun. But this is going to clear up within the next few months. I see a D, the letter D around you. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it like a Danny or a David, like a DA?
So David is my father, but he died in Vietnam in 65.
So he was a young death.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been more than 42, if that.
He was only 29. I was born in 60. He died in 65.
Oh, wow. He was quite young. Now, did you lose another young person? Because he comes with another young person.
I My son just died
Your
like
son.
6 weeks ago.
Bless your heart. Is this, because I'm getting a bitter taste, was this an unintentional mix of medicine or an overdose of some type? I'd get like chemical.
Yep.
I'm so
Yep.
sorry to hear. You didn't have all the answers at first. It's like bad news comes at night, eh?
Yep. I can't believe you just said that because I was at work and the police officers came to my job to tell me that they had found him.
Are you like a nurse or a caregiver? You help people?
I work in the hospitality industry.
Oh,
I work
worse.
in a restaurant, yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Thankless. And
Yes.
you don't get to kill them at the end of the night.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. But you know, this is the thing. Your son and your father are together, and there's like an A initial as well up there. Is that for your son, or is that a female energy?
There's nobody with an A.
It's like an An or an like. Remember that I saw this. It'll come to you. Okay. It could even be on your son's father's side. So just so you know, he's like anyway.
Oh, yes. His grandmother, Anne.
Right.
Anne,
Yeah.
Anna.
That's what I said.
Grandmother, yes, you did. You did. Yeah.
It
Sorry.
it all comes back.
I'm
It
a little
comes.
fuzzy. Yeah.
It's all right, love. Don't worry. And the other thing is, they're showing me birthday. I don't know if it's no, it's not March or May. They're just giving me an M month, and then they're showing me a birthday for another month coming up. Was your son's to be like closer to the fall, or is that yours?
No, my birthday's October. His is March.
His is March and yours is the fall. Thank you. Okay, because
yeah.
he wants you to know he's with you on both birthdays, but it's going to be, is yours close to a 23 or a 3?
11.
11? Oh, I'm sorry. So it's in I don't know what 3 might mean unless it's 3 months from now. But anyway, or maybe that's no, I'm sorry. March is the 3rd month. I'm sorry. He's just so drastically trying to get my attention.
I know he was scattered.
He's also just excited, and he's making me feel like he's apologizing. He didn't mean for this to happen.
So he worked at a restaurant, and she had a medium dinner already planned before he committed suicide, and he came through to her at the end, and he said, "An accident isn't always an accident." Mm-hmm. That's what he said to this other mute. I wasn't there, but it was something that the restaurant had pre-planned before he obviously passed away.
It's like flirting with the line and then stepping over it accidentally. It's like he had done this kind of thing before and didn't die from it. If I could just say that, because I'm getting the bitter taste, so it's like chemical, like an ingestion or a drug.
I just got the medical examiner's report today.
And what did it find?
It called it a suicide, and it was fentanyl overdose.
I thought it might be fentanyl because it was bitter in my system, like I've ingested it. This is just a very brief punch through the veil to get to you and to let you know he's okay and he loves you, and he certainly wouldn't have done this on Mother's Day intentionally. And I want to give Liz any opportunity if she wants to add to this. Maybe she's connected to him or a guide, because Liz has some soft energy coming in here, and he is surrounded. He's got your dad. Your dad's got him, more like it. Your dad was right there for him, front row and center. Your dad's handsome too.
Dad's been gone for so long.
Oh, especially because he's been gone for so long. He's like an expert up there. And your dad, you have your dad's eyes, because your dad has those beautiful, big, compassionate, warm eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liz, do you have anything left?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with your father being there, he would have definitely greeted him. He would have been the first person who he saw when he transitioned to the other side. Your son, I feel like you may have taken that comment out of context and thought that maybe somebody had caused his passing. Does that make sense?
I do feel that. I still feel that.
Well, in fairness to you and your feeling and your vibe, the person who sold him that drug, the drug is horrific. It's a no-brainer that drug is horrific. So the person who sold it and mixed it and put it together without any thought for human life. So this is where you're picking up that vibe from. I don't believe what he meant by that was, I think he was trying to prepare you for the coroner's report, which was suicide. which was that he did this to commit suicide. I think he flirted with this, like Bro said, but I don't think his intention was to leave permanently. But I'm also told that he suffered some severe pain in his youth. I want to talk about 12 years old. So does this make sense to you, Mom? Something went down at 12 years old with him.
I don't know about 12, but at 6 years old, he was badly burned by a firecracker that went wayward, and caught him on fire when he was 6.
Was it bullying? Did he have like, was there something with his eye? Did he have a problem with his eye?
He did get, I mean, the firecracker did singe his eye, but he didn't have a problem with his vision. No, he was a beautiful child.
Like, I feel like there was some bullying action happening around the age of 12. And this just set him on a trajectory that he couldn't get his head wrapped around. And then we also had a really intense relationship that just went south. And he didn't know how to pull back from that. It was there was no pulling back for him. So you need to understand
his marriage. Yep.
Okay. So, and he doesn't blame. There's no blame here.
These are just reasons, not blame. Reasons.
It's reasons. That's right. He wants, because I feel like you're looking for someone to point at, to give you, so that you can logically understand what happened here. But what I need you to know is it was his time, Mom. And that's so awful to hear. And it's not going to make it better. It's not going, but he needs you to know that he learned what he needed to learn in this lifetime. And he was ready to go home.
I know that he left us.
He left you too quick and too sudden, and in a way that wasn't the way you'd hoped. And but there's one more initial that I'm getting, like an R, like Ryan or Robbie or Rick or something. Is that important to him as far as you know?
Yep. So his father's name was Roger, and he disowned him years ago.
How old was he? Because I had a feeling when Liz saw 12, I thought divorce or separation, and then him not feeling like he belonged.
Yep, you're right. At 12 was when we got divorced, when he was 12.
There it is. Thank you, bro.
Finally. Okay. See, but this is a perfect example. It comes together in the end when we piece it all together. And a reading isn't always going to make sense right away. Sometimes even a week after you have it, you piece it together. And all I can tell you, Elizabeth, is you're great for, in the state that you're in, to have the wherewithal to figure this all out. Excellent work. Because Elizabeth, you made this connection possible because you persevered to call through, to punch through. You put yourself aside enough to be on camera in front of 90,000 people, and all because the mother's love for her son will transcend dimensions. And I hope that you take this as a sign from him tonight.
It just doesn't make, any kind of addiction or overdose, and doesn't make any sense to me because he was doing so well. He was doing so well.
I know.
Yeah. He didn't consciously realize either, because he always showed his best to everybody else, but he was selfish with his pain. He hid it away. And at the end of the night, when he felt so lonely and so isolated and separate, which is what happens to a young man when his father is such a jerk, and then to be the opposite of his father, which he was the opposite of his dad. He was so loving and good and giving, but he never filled that hole in his heart. And the drugs took the pain away. You see, there were medication for him. Yeah.
And he was, like I said, he was doing so well, and then his birthday was March 12th, and his father didn't call him on his birthday, and that kind of started the whole spiral. Like, because he had been incarcerated, gotten out, working 2 jobs, had his own place, bought his own truck. He has 2 boys, 18 and 21, my grandchildren. They waited and waited and waited for him, and then he just couldn't hang on.
He's going to give you a sign soon.
He did it because of his father. Like, there's like 20 of us that have been so supportive and welcoming and helping and loving.
But
and
that part of the core identity for a boy is his father. And you can have the best mother on earth and a whole slew of family around, and there's something of an injury there that if not addressed through psychiatry and social psychotherapy, he doesn't get to it, because he wasn't one for those sorts of things. Your son was very much, from what I sense, he was a giver. He wasn't one to let others help him always.
He thought he could do it all. He thought he had all the answers. If he got himself into a mess, like arrested in prison, he was going to get himself out and he was going to do it on his own. But what is his message to his sons now? I mean, thank God they don't drink, they don't do drugs, they're doing very well in school and their jobs. But like, my fear is when they start to crash, you know what I mean? Like because like you just said, a son needs his father and their father's gone.
However, they do have their father's love. I see schooling for both of them beyond high school. I see technical, almost technical engineering, or a technical, almost computer-like thing for one of these handsome boys. And the other one can go into like kinesiology with the way he was a bit more athletic, the other son, like in an adventure way, snowboarding, skiing, skateboarding, anything like that, anything fast. He could become a trainer, physical trainer, or even a physical therapist. There's something special about healing people with one of the boys. Does this make any sense for your grandsons?
Well, the one in college is very, very smart. My other grandson went to school for electrical, didn't care for it. So now he's like a super... Yeah, he works for he drives a forklift. If that's what you're... Yeah, brilliant. He drives a forklift. Yeah. And he's very happy. He's a totally Zen kid. He was the one that helped me actually get this going. So
right.
He's been with me for about 4 years now. And
they have you, and you carry your son's torch. And I know this wasn't the job you had planned for yourself at this phase, but there are special jewels in your crown upstairs, my friend. And while this isn't a full reading as I would like it to be, and you know, I do recommend seeking out the services of a qualified medium worth their salt. I hope this is a sign for you tonight, and what we'll do is we'll stay in touch, and you can message me on the page, because I'm an admin there, so I'll be active there too.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right. Well, thank you once again, and
big hugs to you, Lisbeth.
Brilliant. Oh, sweet. You know how that is sometimes, Liz.
So tough.
Yeah, spirit just punched right through, eh?
I know you did great getting some really great insight for her.
As did you, my friend. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah.
Let's say Donna here. We're going to bring Donna on, and let's hope this works. We've got 2 more waiting in the wait room. Let's just punch these out, and then we'll wrap up this show for the evening. Now, Donna, can you hear us okay? Your microphone is hot, Donna, so you should be able to say hello.
Hello.
Hey there. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm not far from where you are. I'm getting your smoke. I'm just over the border in New York.
Oh, yeah. You guys are really getting it bad. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for your call.
I'm on the eastern side of Lake Ontario near the Thousand Islands.
Oh, beautiful. Very beautiful. Well, would you like to ask a question to Liz or I?
I would like to ask a question. I have had experiences in my life previously to where I know that I have had something profound happen. For example, my second husband passed away, and about a week after he passed from cancer. It was a very quick diagnosis. 17 days is what we knew he had cancer, and he passed. He wanted to go, but I wanted to know that he was in the right place. And about a week after I did, I was in a dreamlike state. I had been sleeping, but I was in a state where I was like, I saw his face coming at me, just his face. And I was talking to myself, yet I couldn't wake up. So I knew what was going on, but I couldn't wake up. And I even said, "Is that Frank?" And I went, "Oh my God, it's Frank." And I literally felt him kiss me on the lips. And that's when I woke up.
Brilliant. Liz.
And it gave me comfort.
See, Liz, this ties right into what we were talking about earlier with different signs. And just as Liz said, they don't really talk with their mouth, do they, Liz?
No, they don't. They just don't. And it kind of quantifies what we were talking about. Any kind of physical touch, like in a dream, dissipates their spirit energies. It's like we zap them out. So the kiss, the connection of the kiss, was what ended the dream. And you felt it like it was actually happening to you, because it was, Donna. It was happening to you. And Donna, I'm being told that you have premonitions. So, by premonitions, I mean like you feel like you're thinking of somebody and then they call you. You think about something and then you find out that it's happened. You worry about somebody and then you call them and something's gone down. Does this make sense to you?
Absolutely, 100%. It happens all the time.
They said you're very tuned in. So
now we're gonna have to have Donna on the show to help us do readings next time.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. Donna, what I want to tell you is that your biggest concern about this is that you think it's just good luck, or that was a coincidence. Like you're constantly, you're not taking ownership of your awareness. And your spirit team is telling me that they just want you to take ownership so that they can work with you stronger. So can you do me a favor, Donna? Start documenting. And this goes out to everybody who's watching that is like Donna, having moments of clarity and thought about, things that are happening later. I want you to start documenting and journaling your thoughts onto paper. And date each of them, because you're going to be looking back over the weeks and going, oh my gosh, I called that. What's going to happen is you're going to learn to trust your insight. That's literally, what sets Bro and I apart from other people who are, like yourself, Donna, is that we fully, completely trust the images, interest, the insight, the awareness that we're getting. We don't question it at all. Like, we totally are on board with our spirit team. So that's kind of what they want for you as well. Okay?
Brilliant.
I just have another concern that maybe you can help me with.
All right.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that you can see something that I can't. My second husband passed 6 years ago. And almost 6 years ago. So in between time, for 4 years, I did have a relationship with another man. It was a long distance relationship. The problem is that we really weren't cut out for one another. But something kept telling me, don't leave, don't get out of this mess. Even though, to be honest with you, when I would go to his home, there was many times where I was running away, and I lived 4.5 hours away from him because I couldn't take it. The man did have a lot of demons as far as what was behind him in his life, what had happened to him in his life, and of course, alcoholism. So I would run away, but then something would say, don't leave him. You've only got him. He's only got you, which is the truth. The man passed away, and this was in March. I wasn't talking to him at the time, and the reason why was because all winter long he was very ill, and I was begging him to see a doctor, and he would not go. I got very ill for different reasons. And I ended up having a heart attack, but it was a very small heart attack. But there was no way, with the way that I was feeling, that I could actually go to him, even though he wanted me to. So after my heart attack and the way he was acting, and I had to step aside, I was afraid of the stress that it was bringing to me. And I had to come to grips with what had just happened to me as well. So we basically broke up. I didn't talk to him for a month, and then I got back in touch with him because I couldn't stay away. And I talked to him for about a week, let's say, and it started right in again. He could get very nasty, very mean, very insulting. And I just said, that's it. I've got to step away. About 6 weeks later, I get a Facebook message from a relative of his letting me know that he had passed, which I had warned him about. And I tried to say, listen, this is what's going to happen. And this is where my premonitions come in. Somebody can walk into your home and find you laying on the floor. And then your one and only relative that he had would be in charge of everything. I said, my gosh, you didn't even have anybody on your bank accounts. You don't have anything set. And he would just get very angry with me. Well, that's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. For some reason, the police were called to his house. I was told it was a noise issue, but that's just no way. No way. I mean, and he was laying on the floor. He was unconscious. He spent the next 8 days in the hospital, and he passed. And he never regained consciousness. What I need to know, because our breakup was horrible. It was over the internet, mostly text. But I said things that I never said to him before. I was very upset because I hung in there knowing he needed somebody. And so did I. I needed his relationship to a point. But it was like I wanted him to be thankful that I was hanging in there, and he never was. But what I really like to know is, did he get to the right place?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm going to start, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
He 100% did get to the right place. And I need you to know this. Anybody watching this who has dealt with somebody who has mental demons, physical demons, they are, well, I call them demons. They're not actual demons. Like where they are in pain mentally, or if they suffer from a mental illness, which I actually feel like he had autism, is what they're telling me. He was on the spectrum. So did he have disabilities? Does this make sense to you?
No, I don't. He didn't. The alcoholism was all that I ever saw. And I don't drink, as you know, not, I mean, socially, but
when you're not a drinker and somebody is, it can be very difficult to be connected to somebody like that, because especially when you're you, Donna, and you're receptive to energy, you're feeling that drunkenness within them, and it's very hard to be around them. But I want you to know, when we pass to the other side, we do not carry that energy or that human behavior or pain or suffering. The minute we move to the other side, we literally drop all of our humanness and we are back into pure form of spirit. So ailments in life would be things like, if say somebody lost a limb in this lifetime, on the other side, they may come forward saying, I'm missing a leg, but they're not anymore, if that makes sense, just to help you understand who we're talking about.
Sure.
But if it's a mental illness, which was what he suffered from, depression, severe depression, and I do feel there was like he was on the spectrum. I'm being told that he possibly wasn't diagnosed. So he suffered from being misunderstood, and he didn't have a lot of empathy. And that's a big part of being on the spectrum. Some lack empathy in the way that you and I would. So he loved you as much as he could love you within his abilities to love you. And he wants you to know that he is sorry for the pain and suffering that he caused you, but he's so grateful that you stuck by him. He's eternally grateful to you for that. And you need to know that it's him that's bringing the dimes. So you must be finding dimes, and I feel like not just dimes, other denominations. Does this make sense?
Actually, I've only found one from him. But you bring up those dimes. As I told you, I lost my second husband, who was a dream. He was a perfect husband in every way. And I just want everybody to know that I found a ton of dimes from him, a ton of them. Brilliant. But I've only found one recently.
Brilliant. And is there a Margaret or a Maggie or a Mary that that this boyfriend online of yours might have been greeted by? Because I feel he was met by a woman in spirit.
The only Mary that I know wasn't with
Maybe
him.
you didn't know.
It would have been
Maybe you didn't
mice.
know all of his family. So I'll leave that with you to search later. You could verify that in the
Yeah, he
future.
doesn't. He didn't have a Margaret or a Mary. I do.
You don't know that though. He has a big family that you don't know everything about. So I
Oh,
would
that's
urge
very
you.
true. He has
Yeah.
a huge family, but his immediate family was
Not
he did
immediately,
not. He
yeah.
only had one brother.
Because I'm getting the feeling
And what?
of this being like a granny or one of those people early in his life who was good to him. So you might verify that later. Thank you very much, Donna, for your call and for sharing your story with us. And the dimes is a wonderful, wonderful sign. That is a common thing. And I asked Spirit, why dimes, why coins? And apparently something in the mix of metals is more manipulated or easily manipulated by them, I've heard. Liz, did you hear anything like that from Spirit ever?
Yeah, when you told me that, we were just talking about that not too long ago, and I was blown away by that, because I always thought dimes because they're the lightest and easiest to manipulate.
Yeah.
But I know people who have received like monumentous amounts of coins, and one particular story that I can recall where two children received like a handful of coins out of a wall. So I mean, spirit can manipulate whatever
A
they want
lot
to
of
manipulate.
things. That's right. We've got one more caller, a Zoom user. Let's hope this works. Zoom user, we're going to bring you on in. And all you have to do, your camera is now connected, but you must connect your
Yes.
audio.
Hello. Oh, jeez.
All right.
You okay?
Can you connect your audio?
She's connecting.
Oh, audio connecting. Awesome. Okay. Say hello.
Hey, can you? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank goodness. My last time it sucked.
Awesome. All right. So where are you calling from, first of all?
I'm calling from St. Catharines.
Oh, you're here in St. Catharines. That's where Liz is.
That's right from.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. What's your first name and what's your question?
My name is Amber, and I just recently lost my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless you, bless you. Okay. Okay. Now, Liz, do you feel something?
I'm immediately getting an R name. So is there a Rob or Roger? What's the connection to an R, Rob or Roger?
I have an Uncle Robert, but he's here.
He's with you? Okay.
Is that uncle on your dad's side or your mom's?
No, he's not related. He's a friend of the family, and we call him Uncle.
Okay,
Is he
good.
your father's friend?
Yes.
Okay. And has he been very supportive since this happened? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm feeling like he's taken the lead. Like he's picked up for your dad. He feels very, very much like he's wanting to be there for you. And I want you to know that definitely take advantage of that. You both need each other at this time, okay? Because you're both feeling.
He lives with my mom, so that's good.
Yeah. And what about because I get two things. I get a cancer that was quick after being found. And did it move to different places in the body for Dad?
That wasn't my dad. That was my mother-in-law.
That's your mother-in-law. Okay. And is there a V initial in that family, like Victoria or Vanessa or something?
That's his my niece.
Okay. Okay. And now, did your dad have more of a chest problem more suddenly? Like coronary or something? What did they rule it as? I'm sorry to bring up a painful topic.
He suffered with heart disease for a long time. He had every surgery possible up to a bypass. And then at the end, he had a heart attack and then went into the hospital for a normal routine artery check, and he just passed away.
I don't know why he calls you his baby girl, because I don't think you're the youngest in your family, but are you the first daughter to him or something?
I'm the middle.
Okay, because he just loves you tremendously. You're like, I guess all of his kids are like his babies. Are there three of you and then one extra? Like, is there a mixed family, half siblings?
There's three of us, and then we just found his daughter before he passed. Like,
3
a
of you
couple
and 1
days before.
extra, he makes me feel. That's what he wants you to know. He's so new there. He's still learning everything, but he's like, Nanny's got me. Don't worry, Nanny has me. He's being taken care of by Nanny.
Granny, yeah.
Yeah, and go to the cabin or go to the cottage, go, because he likes to be in the woods. He likes to be in nature, and you can go by the lake and he'll be with you there. Do you know what he's talking about?
I fish with him all the time, and I
Is she-
can't play.
You will be able to when you're ready, and when you're good and ready is what he makes me feel. And he shows me the number 2 or 22 or something. Is that a date or is that an anniversary?
I don't know.
February?
Could be
Oh,
February.
my birthday's February.
Yeah, what's the day in February?
Mm.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Eight.
8th? Okay.
No, 1/8.
Oh, 18.
Oh,
Okay. Sorry, your audio is just cutting out a little bit, but it's okay because I think Liz is right. The 2 could be the February month. You know, he's going to find a way to get through to you soon. He's kind of funny. He's a little naughty, your dad, you know. He makes me feel like he's going to create an aroma. It might be beautiful and good like Old Spice or cologne or aftershave, but he might also give you some rotten eggs or some sulfur just to play with you guys as a funny joke.
Oh, that's what his farts smell like.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I felt like. And Liz, are you picking up anything to wrap up
Totally,
this?
I totally get the. As soon as you said aroma, I was like, he is a jokester. He's going to give
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a jokester. So you're going to totally. I mean, he wants you. He understands. See, the spirit understands the pain of loss that we suffer, the ones that are left behind. He understands that, but he is desperately doing his best tonight to let you know that he is okay on the other side. You don't need to worry for him, and he's no longer in pain and suffering. The man was a fighter. He's been fighting for years to stay alive, but you know, it was just bad timing. And I feel like this was around somebody's birthday as well. Does this connect with you? That his passing?
My birthday, and then he passed in March.
Okay. Because he's feeling like it feels to me like bad timing. It was somebody's birthday, so it was your birthday, and it's too close, you know. It's it kind of left a bad taste in your mouth around that as well. So you're not looking forward to, because this is the first. Your next February will be your first birthday since his passing, right? And you're just like, the idea of celebrating your birthday again, or celebrating Christmas, or celebrating anything is just so overwhelming to you. I need you to know he'll be present for all of it. He'll miss nothing. Did you just recently have spaghetti? Did you just have spaghetti like yesterday or the day before? And I feel like, okay, because I'm feeling like there's a spaghetti that was spilt, like a spilt spaghetti. It's like tomatoey sauce spilled. Okay.
No, not.
Ask your siblings.
Okay.
Because I feel like there was a sense of like somebody spilt spaghetti or tomato sauce, because I'm seeing the red spill, and he got a giggle out of that.
Okay. It's probably happening at home right now.
So yeah, he's with you, love. He is with you. He's with all of you. Okay. So don't stop talking to him. He says you've been doing a good job at talking to him. He hears a sense of like somebody spilt spaghetti or tomato. What's happening, bro?
Sorry, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, something. There was like a repeat of me talking.
I apologize. We almost lost the stream. It may still be going live, but I've killed the stream. So we're going to wrap up pretty soon because we have some technical difficulties. But yes, I would love to hear from you, Amber, as well on the page, to let us know in the comments if you find out what the spaghetti reference is. It may be something, like you said, that could be happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 3-year-old terror at home. It could happen at any moment.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you. And listen, connect with Liz. She's down in St. Catharines. We do have a lot of tasty Canadians on this page, as it turns out. I've been monitoring. Yeah.
I absolutely know. I've been dying to reach out, and I just went to a psychic fair, and I didn't feel it at all there. So, I know I watched your video. Don't go to psychic fair.
Okay, awesome.
Don't go with Kathy, but thank you.
My pleasure, and Liz, thank you very much. All right, what we're going to do now, we'll just wrap up in just a moment. I'm going to ask you a quick question, Liz.
Okay.
Let me put this person here. We can't take any more calls because I've completely lost our chat. Liz, how would you what would your first advice be to somebody if they came to you and they just like that one lady whose son had passed away on Mother's Day? Is there any general advice on what to do in order to allow yourself to grieve in a healthy way?
Yeah. The first thing I would definitely advise is that there's no correct way to grieve. You are going to be unique in your experience, and each time we lose somebody, the grieving process is unique to that person. So first and foremost, do not set perimeters for yourself. Do not feel like you're being too sad or too angry or too whatever. Allow the feelings and emotions to be expressed, because I have discovered that, on my own journey of grief and loss, that when I harbored sadness or resentment or anger over the loss, it stayed with me, and it became like a festering wound is the best way for me to describe it. And it wasn't until I matured enough and understood that by expressing and feeling the pain, that I was able to move through it faster. Now, you never heal from loss, but you learn to deal with it over time. And you'll hear that. People throw that out all the time. Give it some time, and you probably want to throw something at those people. And understandably so, because you hear it a lot. And I just want you to understand, everybody who is around you or coming to your aid and saying things are saying things because they love you and they don't know what else to say. So it's take every day, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time, but do yourself a favor and still live. Honor your loved one on the other side by getting up every day and doing one thing that is living, that is you living, so that you can keep life going.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you for joining us this evening on this inaugural episode of the channel here in the Afterlife Signs group. Thank you all to our callers and our listeners and our viewers. We will be doing this again. Liz, whenever you're free, you're always welcome back. You know, my dear, you always have an open door wherever I tend to hang out. Any dive I'm finding myself in, you're welcome.
I would love to come back.
All right, take care, everyone.